Welcome dear students. Today our topic is chapter number 4 NCERT textbook for class 11 students. The name of the chapter is Principle of Mathematical Induction. So first of all, what is the introduction of this topic? Introduction. One key basis for mathematical thinking is deductive reasoning. An informal and example of deductive reasoning borrowed from the study of logic is an argument expressed in three statements. Suppose first statement is A. Socrates is a man. B. All men are mortal. Therefore, this third statement becomes automatically true. That is, Socrates is mortal. Once again, first statement is Socrates is a man. Second statement is all men are mortal. Therefore, conclusion is the third statement, which is Socrates is mortal. If statement A and B are true, then the truth of C is established. To make this simple mathematical example, we would write, suppose here one more example we are producing, 8 is divisible by 2. Number second statement, any number divisible by 2 is an even number. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Third statement is the conclusion. 8 is an even number. Once again, the very first statement is 8 is divisible by 2. Second statement is any number divisible by 2 is an even number. Therefore, what is the result? Result is the third statement. This is the conclusion. 8 is an even number. Now, thus, deduction in a nutshell is given a statement to be proven, often called a conjecture or a theorem in mathematics. Valid deductive steps are derived and a proof may or may not be established. That is, deduction is the application of a general case to a particular case. Okay, now coming next we have, in contrast to deduction, inductive reasoning depends on working with each case and developing a conjecture by observing incidences till we have observed each and every case. It is frequently used in mathematics and is a key aspect of scientific reasoning, where collecting and analyzing data is the norm. Thus, in simple language, we can say the word induction means the generalization from particular cases or facts. Motivation. In mathematics, we use a form of complete induction called mathematical induction. To understand the basic principles of mathematical induction, suppose a set of thin rectangular tiles are placed as shown in the figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are so many tiles are placed one after the other like this. So what happens now? What is the case study? When the first tile is pushed in the indicated direction, we pushed a little bit to one tile, all the tiles will fall. This is very much understood. To be absolutely sure that all the tiles will fall, it is sufficient to know that number A, the first tile falls. So this is the very first condition, that the first tile falls. Now, second condition is, in the event that any tile falls, its successor necessarily fall. That means if suppose this is 8th, this is 1 2 3 4 5th 6th, this is at 6th number. What we are saying, 6th tile falls, it means its successor will also fall. After 6, 7th will also fall thereafter. After 6, 7th tile will also fall. Thus this is the underlying principle of induction. Okay, now once again we are going to understand this with this example, the principle of mathematical induction. Suppose there is a given statement and we name this statement equal to p of n, involving the natural number n, such that number 1, the statement is true for n is equal to 1. That is, we can write this equal to p of 1 is true. Number second, if the statement is true for n is equal to k. Here in previous example, as what we are saying, here we were saying that 6th tile falls. Then what was the conclusion? 7th tile will also fall. Mean to say, just after 6, which tile will come? Whose turn will come? This will be 7th tile, 6 plus 1th tile. So here what we are saying now, if n is equal to k, if the statement is true for n is equal to k, where k is some positive integer, then the statement is also true for n is equal to k plus 1. That is, the truth of pk implies the truth of p of k plus 1. Then what we say, what is the result, what is the conclusion? Pn is true for all natural numbers n. Now how to solve the questions of exercise 4.1 class 11. The very first question is, using principle of mathematical induction, prove that 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus so on up to 3 raised to power n minus 1 is equal to 3 raised to power n minus 1 upon 2. So what is the, how to prove? Number 1, the very first step is step 1. We shall check for n is equal to 1. Okay, suppose here the given statement is in the form of n. N mean all natural numbers. That is, Pn is equal to 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus so on plus 3 raised to power n minus 1 is equal to 3 raised to power n minus 1 whole divide 2. We converted this given statement in the form of Pn. So what is the first step? Check for n is equal to 1. So here P1 mean the very first term. This is equal to 1 in left hand side, and what is there in right hand side? This becomes, we put n is equal to 1, 3 raised to power 1 minus 1 upon 2. So what is the conclusion? P1 is the statement. 1 is equal to 3 minus 1, 2, 2 upon 2, 1. So what we conclude? So we conclude P1 is true. Okay, now next is, suppose step 2. Here we suppose P of k is true. So we can write what we can write in place of n, we write here pk. Pk is the statement 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus so on. Lastly, in place of n, we write k minus 1 is equal to 3 raised to power k minus 1 upon 2. Okay, now what is the third step? Step number 3. This is very important now, main step of the question. With the help of step 2, we shall prove that P of k plus 1 is also true. This is what we are going to prove now. So first of all, we write left hand side with n is equal to k plus 1. This is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. First of all, in left hand side, we put n is equal to k plus 1. So what becomes 1 plus 3 plus 3 square plus so on. Lastly, we have 3 raised to power n becomes k plus 1. Next is minus 1. Okay, this is just only left hand side. Now what this is actually 1 plus 3 plus 3 square. Can we write the next term? What should be the next term? This should be 3 cube. Okay, likewise, what is the last term here? This is 3 raised to power plus 1 minus 1 cancelled, so we are left with k. Now can you guess which is the preceding term of this term? Obviously this should be 3 raised to power k minus 1. Okay, so we know what is the next term, we know what is the preceding term, we wrote them. Now what we are going to do, we are writing here with the help of step 2, we shall prove that p k plus 1 is also true. So this means this whole is nothing but the step 2 itself. This is the step 2 itself. That is, we are going to use this. So 1 plus 3 square and up to 3 raised to power k minus 1, this whole we can write the value of right hand side here. That is, we are writing here the value 3 raised to power k minus 1 upon 2. So what is the next? Next is this plus 3 raised to power k, and what is the denominator? This is 1. Now solving this, what we can say about this now? This is equal to LCM is 2, so this becomes 3 raised to power k minus 1 plus 2 will be multiplied with 3 raised to power k. So this way we can write this equal to 3 raised to power k, we take this common from this and this. What we are left with? here this is 1, here this is plus 2, minus 1 is outside upon 3. So again this becomes 3 raised to power, this is again 3 raised to power 1, base is equal, powers will be added, so this will become 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1 upon this is 2. Okay, so what is the conclusion? Conclusion is, what was the right hand side? Right hand side is 3 raised to power n minus 1 upon 2. So here if we put directly n is equal to k plus 1, then this becomes 3 raised to power k plus 1 minus 1 upon 2. So this is same. This is same we have proved here. So it means we have proved with the help of step 2 that given statement is true for n is equal to k plus 1. Therefore we write here, so p of k plus 1 is also true. And what the conclusion is now, Pn is true statement for all n. So this was what we wanted to prove. The question is over now. That's all. Now coming to next question of the exercise. Now coming to question number 2 of the exercise 4.1, prove that 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus so on up to last term is n cube is equal to n into n plus 1 whole divide 2 whole square. So how to prove this now? First of all, we name the statement as Pn. So let the statement is Pn 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus so on n cube is equal to n into n plus 1 whole divided 2 its whole square. So what is the first step? Step 1, that is P1. Put n is equal to 1. What is the very first term? The very first term in P1, we take just only first term. This is 1 cube. So we write here 1 cube. Then we take right hand side. This becomes 1 with n is equal to 1. 1 into 1 plus 1 upon 2 whole square. So that means that is 1 is equal to 1 into 2 upon 2 cancelled, 1 square, that is 1. Therefore what we say, P1 is true. Now what is step 2? Step 2 is suppose. Here we suppose Pk, the given statement Pn statement is true for n is equal to k. Suppose P of k is true. If this is true, that is, then we can write, what we can write here? We can write Pk is the statement with 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube plus so on k cube is equal to, lastly we are writing here k into k plus 1 whole divided 2 and its whole square. Now what we shall prove in step 3? In step 3rd, we shall prove that P of k plus 1 is also true whenever P of k is true. With the help of this step, we shall prove P of k plus 1 is also true. So again, this is the left hand side, this is the left hand side, and this is the right hand side of the statement. So first of all, left hand side with n is equal to k plus 1 is, so what we write here, 1q plus 2q plus 3q plus so on, lastly k plus 1 whole raised to power 3. Just we are talking about left hand side. Now again, what we are doing, we are writing here, this is equal to 1q plus 2q plus 3q plus, whether we can write the next term or not. Yes, next term will be 3 raised to power 4. Likewise, proceeding now, what should be the previous term of this term? Obviously this should be k raised to power 3, and lastly we have plus k plus 1 whole raised to power 3. Now what we know, in statement second we have supposed this to be true, that is, this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side, both are equal. So in place of left hand side, this is same, so we can substitute the value of right hand side here. What is the right hand side? This is k into k plus 1 whole divided 2 whole square, and thereafter we have this term, we are left with k plus 1 whole power 3 upon 1. Right? Now how to solve this? We can write this equal to k square into k plus 1 whole square upon 2 plus k plus 1 whole power 3 divide 1. So further we can write this equal to, taking k plus 1 whole square common, upon 2 is also taken common. So what we are left here, this is k square plus 2 will get multiplied here, and we shall write k plus 1 more is left. So what is next now? We write this equal to k plus 1 whole square upon 2 into this becomes k square plus 2k plus 2. Okay, so what does this mean? This mean, sorry, here because denominator is 2 whole square, so this will become 4. So this is 4, moreover this is multiplied here with 4, so 4k plus 4. Right? So this way finally we have equal to k plus 1 whole square upon 4 into this becomes k plus 2 whole square. Again we may write this equal to k plus 1 into k plus 2 whole divide 2, then taking the square of all outside the bracket whole square. Okay, this way now this is the right hand side of the given statement. If we put n is equal to k plus 1, right hand side with n is equal to k plus 1, So hence we have proved now that therefore p k plus 1 is true, which implies pn is true for every n, for every n. So this is the final answer. Now coming to question number 3, prove that 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 and so on. Last term is 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on up to n. This is equal to 2n upon n plus 1. So how to prove this? First of all, for p1, what we say? The very first term of the left hand side is equal to right hand side with n is equal to 1. This becomes 2 into 1 upon 1 plus 1. So this means 1 is equal to 1. That is what we say now, p1 is true. This is what we can say, p1 is true. Now second, suppose pk, which is 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on. Last term 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3. Lastly we have k, and right hand side 2k upon k plus 1. Suppose pk is true, so this way we can say left hand side with n is equal to k is equal to right side with n is equal to k. That is what we are saying, left hand side with n is equal to k is equal to right hand side with n is equal to k. Now what is the question? We are going to prove this statement is also true for n is equal to k plus 1 whenever this is true for n is equal to k. So here now p k plus 1, first of all we shall talk about left hand side. This is equal to, we are writing here 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on. Last term is 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on k plus 1. This is the left hand side. So how we can write this? We can write this equal to, writing in this way, 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3. Now what should be the next term? Obviously this should be, I am using the other color, 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Likewise proceeding, what should be the previous term of the last term? Obviously this should be 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to so on, last is k, and last term is already given here. This is 1 upon 1 plus 2 and so on up to k plus 1. Right? Now what we are going to do, we are going to use step 2, the value of right hand side because this is the left hand side of pk. This is the left hand side of pk. So we are writing here this value, that is, this becomes 2k divide k plus 1 plus what is left now, 1 upon 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on. Last term is k plus 1. Okay, now one very much clear result is, what the result is, we know that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on up to n, this is equal to n into n plus 1 upon 2. This is known result. Similarly, now if we change, we convert this n to k plus 1, then what happens? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on up to k plus 1. Right hand side we also convert n is equal to k plus 1. So this becomes k plus 1 into k plus 1 plus 1. This becomes k plus 2 whole divide 2. So this is the truth, this is the fact we are going to use now in the question. So this becomes, the question becomes now, this is equal to 2k upon k plus 1 as it is plus 1 upon this whole is this. So we use this term k plus 1 into k plus 2 whole divide 2, that 2 will go in the numerator. So this way, next step is we write equal to, taking LCM, LCM becomes k plus 1 into k plus 2. So here 2k will be multiplied with k plus 2. Next is plus 2. So this way, this is equal to, taking 2 common, we are left with k square plus 2k plus 1 whole divide k plus 1 into k plus 2. So this is equal to 2 times k plus 1 whole square divide k plus 1 into k plus 2. So what we see, k plus 1 in numerator, in denominator is cancelled. So we are left with 2 into k plus 1 whole divide k plus 2. So what is this? This is the right hand side. This is the right hand side with n is equal to k plus 1. So we started here pk plus 1 left hand side, and we proved that pk plus 1 its right hand side is this. So this way our question is proved. Thank you very much.